Hello, everyone. My name is Mama Bonnie, and I'm so happy to see you here back at the burrow. And to all of our new friends, hello. It's so nice to meet you. How was your day? I hope it went well. And now that you're here, my day's gotten even better. For tonight's story, a mama thought, why, we should read another classic story together. But we can't have our story unless we're all comfy cozy. So make sure you're wearing something comfy. And don't forget to bring your favorite stuffy. I think they're gonna want to hear the story too. Don't you? Well then, are we all comfy? Let's get started. Shall we? Tonight's story is The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs who lived with their mother. One day the mother pig said to the three little pigs, "You are all grown up now. It's time for you to go out into the world and live on your own." So, the three little pigs gave their mother a big hug and kiss and set out to find their own places to live. They walked down the road and soon saw a man with a wagon full of straw. "Why, I could build a house of straw in no time," thought the very first little pig. So the first little pig said to the man, "Please, sir, may I have some straw so that I may build a house?" The kind man gave him the straw, and the first little pig quickly built his house. He finished so quickly that he lay down contentedly in the shade to take a nap for the rest of the day. The other two pigs continued on their way. It wasn't long before they passed a man with a cart full of sticks. I could build a house of sticks," thought the second little pig. "It will take a little more time than my brother's house of straw, but it will be a fine house." So the second little pig said to the man, "Please, sir, may I have some sticks so that I may build a house?" The kind man gave him the sticks, and the second little pig set about building his house. He finished the house in a little while, and then he too lay down contentedly in the shade to take a nap. The third little pig continued on his way. In a little while, he passed a man with a wheelbarrow full of bricks. "Aha! I could build a house of bricks," thought the third little pig. "It's true that it will take me more work than the houses of my brothers, but it will be well worth it." So he said to the man, "Please, sir, may I have some bricks so that I may build a house?" The kind man gave him the bricks, and the third little pig set about building his house. He worked and he worked in the hot afternoon sun, taking care to lay each brick just so. At about this time, a big, bad wolf came trotting down the lane. He saw the first little pig napping in the shade of his straw house.
Yum, yum. That pig would make a tasty bite to eat.
Thought the big, bad wolf. But the little pig saw him coming and ran inside of his house of straw, slamming the door behind him. The little pig breathed a sigh of relief because he remembered that his mother had always said that wolves were not to be trusted. Now, the big, bad wolf knocked at the door and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
"Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," answered the first little pig.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down.
Said the wolf, and he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. As the straw blew everywhere, the first little pig ran away, rubbing his stomach, and now, feeling even hungrier. The big bad wolf strolled farther down the lane, and soon came upon the second little pig napping in the shade of his stick house. The little pig saw him coming and ran inside of his house of sticks. The big, bad wolf knocked on the door and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
"Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," answered the second little pig.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down.
Said the big bad wolf. And he huffed and he puffed and he blew down the house of sticks. The little pig ran away just in the nick of time. Now, the wolf's stomach growled loudly. He was feeling so hungry. Soon, the wolf came upon the third little pig, who had just finished building his brick house. The little pig looked up. There were his two brother pigs, running towards him, and right behind them was the big bad wolf. All three pigs hurried into the house of bricks and locked the door behind them. The big bad wolf knocked at the door and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
"Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," answered the third little pig.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down.
Said the big bad wolf. Well, the wolf huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed, and then he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and puffed some more. But he could not blow down that house of bricks. "You can't get me. My house is too strong," shouted the third little pig from inside his house.
Ha!
Said the wolf.
I'm stronger and smarter than you. I'm on my way up the roof, and then I'll come down the chimney to get you.
And now the third little pig was no fool. He had already guessed that the wolf might try to come down the chimney. So he already had a blazing fire in the fireplace and a big kettle of boiling water heating over the fire. Thinking that he was as clever as could be, the big bad wolf jumped down the chimney. Splash! Ouch! The big bad wolf jumped right out of that boiling hot water and ran away, never to be seen again. And the three little pigs lived happily ever after. The end. Oh, what a very clever pig the third little pig was. Now then, little ones, I think it's getting late and we should go to sleep. So, get all snuggled up underneath your blanket. Hold your favorite stuffy tight, 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 so they know they are loved. Oh, and dream some wonderful dreams. And while you're having those wonderful dreams, I'll get our story ready for next time. How does that sound? And always remember, Mama Bonnie loves you very, very much. Good night.